Viserys Targaryen here, and I just wanted you to know, Christmas is coming.
All right, hello, welcome back to the Grease Comms YouTube channel. We're back with the voice of Oldtown, and he turned his green lights off because, you know, he doesn't want to be called out for being a supporter. Nope, there we go. Oh, there it is. There it is. There
I like
it is.
this color. How do you like this color, huh, Eric?
I feel like it's your favorite color. I'm just saying.
It's definitely not, but let's just keep the meme alive, I guess.
Yeah, it's a great meme. Okay, you have to live with it. Okay.
Yeah, I've embraced it. You know, it's
yeah, of course.
But beyond my powers at this point.
And you know why that's significant? Because we're gonna be talking about Euron today. And you know, maybe he might be sacking Oldtown, maybe not. That's not the full purpose of this video, but you know, it's close enough. It's a close enough topic. But we're gonna be talking about, you know, some Kraken activities. What's Euron doing? What's his plan? Is he trying to become more or less a god or something? What's up with Euron? Okay. And I brought you on because you know more about Euron than I do. I'm just gonna throw that out there because of, you know, our past Bran video that we did. I believe was it on my channel or your channel? I don't remember.
I think it was on yours.
My channel.
It's been a while since I've talked about Euron.
Yeah, so you know, you kind of changed a lot of my opinions on Euron as a whole and what his relevance to the story is. But yeah, so we're gonna kind of talk about that. But before we do, you know, head over to this man's channel. Give him a subscribe because he makes that quality content that you all enjoy. And let's just get into it. So I have two quotes down just to establish that there are rumors of Krakens. This isn't just something like out of nowhere. The first one we got is from Tyrion 3, A Storm of Swords. And this is: the eunuch drew a parchment from his sleeve. A Kraken has been seen off the fingers, he giggled. Not a Greyjoy, mind you, a true Kraken. So that's one. And then the one that I think is much more relevant because I feel like it explains a bit more on, you know, what maybe Euron's planning or maybe how Krakens work as a whole is from the Winds of Winter, Arion 1. So again, also much closer to the Forsaken chapter and much closer to what we're going to be talking about in today's video. But this is: and Krakens off the broken arm, pulling under crippled galleys, said Valena. The blood draws them to the surface, our master claims. There are bodies in the water. A few have washed up on our shores. So I think that adds a couple questions about what Euron's doing. It seems like Euron is sacrificing people, for one. It seems like he's trying to make this massive conflict with blood. Is the purpose to summon Krakens? It's possible.
That's exactly what I think is going to happen there.
So that's okay, go ahead.
I think he's, you know, luring out the Redwyne fleet, and then later on it's going to be a basic trap similar to Fair Isle, Stannis.
Yep.
But with Krakens, so it's like cooler.
It makes sense, like given like what George R. R. Martin just like wrote. Like we haven't had much prior information on what Krakens are, like what draws them, and then all of a sudden in a Winds of Winter chapter, now this gets brought up. Like it seems like an interesting timing, especially when we're going into a battle that people have already like kind of theorized on. Maybe there's some mystical stuff going on here. I know other people have suggested maybe this is like a dragon or something or some other stuff. I think from what we know of, I think the Krakens make the most sense. Now my question is going to be to you is like, is he going to like try and control these Krakens? How is he going to do that? Or is it just one of those things where he's just going to use them to take out the Redwyne fleet? That's where I'm a little murky and confused on.
I don't think that he's going to be able to control them. I mean, it is possible that he's a warg, or that he has screen seeing abilities. You know, we kind of went into that when the video we once did, you know, about him being a failed Bloodraven student. But I don't think that he's going to control the Krakens. I just think it's going to be very chaotic, and he's going to come in when the chaos kind of died down a little. But it's definitely going to cost him a few of his own ships as well. So I think it's kind of ironic, even though, you know, this is this huge thing that he's summoning, he's also weakening himself. And I think you know, as much as he will proclaim that this was magical, and as much as this will enhance him as this god-ass person, it's just blood, you know.
Yes,
They
I
came
agree.
because it's just blood, and
Something
he's
else,
just himself.
yeah. Something else I'm like interested about though is like, given if he does take down like the entire Redwyne fleet, he's more or less going to go unchallenged, really, in the entire western side fleet-wise, right? Like, there's no like grand fleet on the western side of the country now, right? And you even look at some of the best leadership when it comes to ships. It's like, well, Stannis has got his own war going on. You know, the Redwynes at this point, they'd be defeated if Euron wants to do this. Like, it's going to give Euron a ton of power. You also look at, again, the Crown's fleet. Well, Orain Waters just took that. So you're sitting here, it's like, who's really going to challenge Euron? Like, now that I'm kind of thinking about this and, you know, you talking about your stuff there, like, he doesn't really need the Krakens. Like, he needs the Krakens to remove the one obstacle that he has at sea at the moment. After that, it's like he can kind of just do whatever. And that's not even to, like, you know, bring upon, is he going to get a dragon? You know, maybe dragon binder, all that. It's a different topic, different theory, but, like, you know, is that part of his goals? Yeah.
I don't expect that to go down as he himself imagines.
Agreed.
It's gonna go down. I think he's gonna get Krakens. It's gonna be this big thing that, you know, enhances him to be this godlike figure to stupid people, and that's about it. If anything, I think when it comes to the magical stuff, that might come towards the end game with Bran again, but I don't see him having control over a dragon. I think a dragon is gonna die in Essos.
I agree. I think something has to happen with at least one of the dragons. I just don't. I don't know how Dany comes over with 3 dragons and the conflict is interesting, because it's like, who's going to be able to win? Or is George not even wanting it to be like that? Maybe he's wanting it to be like Aegon's Conquest, where she just rolls through everybody and there isn't really as much opposing force to her. I don't know if I like it that way. I mean, I think it'd be cool if either one of her dragons died, somebody was able to tame one of her dragons. Any of those would be cool. But yeah, so getting back to Euron, we also see again that there's, in the Forsaken chapter, that Euron has this vision of this kind of Kraken-like creature on the throne. Do you believe that Euron is going to become some like hybrid Kraken or something, or is that more just like...
I don't buy most theories, you know, like literally. I think it's just pointing towards something, or it's, you know, misleading people. You know, it's never that telling when it comes to George's prophecies, I think. You know, it's like a literal Kraken on the throne. That's just a bit too much, I think.
I agree. I mean, it could just point to the idea that maybe Euron sits the throne for some period of time, or maybe it's just to show that he has ambitions for the throne. Any of those things. Like, my thing with, I feel like the world is like, George R. R. Martin has kind of crafted a world that, for the most part, is a lot more realism. There is magical elements in there. Not to say there isn't, but I think if we start going to where it's like Euron starts having Krakens, he starts becoming like a Kraken hybrid thing, I feel like it would go a little over the top for me. That's also not even to mention like him trying to take a dragon, which I don't think is going to happen, like you pointed out. But I don't know. Like, this is why Euron to me is a character that is kind of a blind spot for me, because I do realize there's a lot of like magical elements of his character, whether that be, again, like the stuff we talked about, with like him being maybe an ex-student, you know, him being in that battle with Bran. Like, I think, is that what you mainly theorize? Like, it's going to be kind of Bran versus Euron towards like maybe the end of the story?
I think that would be interesting, yeah, if it's kind of like a Green Sing War, where, you know, these 2 students of Bloodraven, or the Three-Eyed Raven, Three-Eyed Crow, I gotta say, because I'm gonna get killed for that. I'm sorry. I'm just such a fucking show pleb. I'm sorry, man.
I'm the same way. I'm the same way. I mess that up all the time, and I sit there and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get crucified for that.
Oh my god, so cringe, dude. And it's like, the Three-Eyed Crow is not Brynden Rivers. It's like, okay, yeah, I know. It's like, but I mean, it's just in general, you know, the screen seeing war. I think that would be interesting to explore.
Yeah.
In the end, that is, because if you look at the objective that Euron has, you could kind of argue that this kind of is similar to how a character that I don't see happening in the books, the Night King had. You know, he's attacking Oldtown. He's attacking history.
Yep.
I think that is, you know, something that is similar.
I think that makes a lot of sense. And again, like getting back to my point, like that's why I think it's one of those really gray spots for me, because I'm someone that I don't have the most knowledge on how, like, I think magic's going to work, or how, especially Bran's plotline as a whole, which is why I'm glad I had you on for the video we did for Bran, because Bran's a character that I don't know. I'm like, sometimes I'm on one opinion, sometimes on the other opinion. And it's the same way with Euron, and that's why I think I like your idea of like the two kind of being these you know, enemies towards the end of the story, because in a lot of ways they are like quite similar in that regard of the magical elements of the story. But
well, and then Samwell just kills him at Oldtown, and I'm sitting there like a dumbass. I'm like, oh my god, come on.
Sam's just gonna like stab him in the back.
Yeah,
Euron's gone.
Sam the Slayer.
Hey,
and like all the White Walkers just fall down. It's just like, you know, he's the Night King.
Okay, but think about it like this, right? Okay, if you're Sam, okay, and let's say you kill Euron, this is right after he gets the Krakens, okay? You could be like, I'm Sam the Slayer. I killed the guy who brought Krakens back, okay, and took out an entire fleet. Like, if I wasn't Sam the Slayer before,
Song of Ice and Fire.
I'm Sam the Slayer, man. He just starts rolling in the women, and like everybody's just praising him.
Oh yeah, he's just tossing Gilly by the side. He's like, no,
yeah, like Gilly.
Shit.
Like oaths? What do those mean? Night's Watch. I'm gonna have to leave that behind. I'm gonna have to pull a Daron. Like I ain't going there.
It's like literally jumping into the water and saving Valley of Flowers and just, you know, fucking.
He's just having a great time. Oh boy. All right. Anything else you want to talk about with like Euron Kraken theory? It's hard one to talk about because there's not the most amount of information. I think
Preston Jacobs did a fantastic video about it. I think it pretty much goes down like he said. And afterwards, that is the more interest. What comes afterwards is more interesting. You know, it's all the people that are at the Citadel: Jack Inagar, Sarah Lassane, Samwell, Marwyn. That's going to be interesting.
I think that's just kind of in general, like when we talk about a lot of these theories with the early stuff in Winds of Winter, where I feel like we've kind of more or less figured out where things are going to go. Like even the last video we did, which was talking about Stannis's campaign, I think the more interesting stuff is like when he's trying to take Winterfell. What is the like resulting effects of after he defeats the Freys? Like I think that's very similar here. Like what's going to happen after Euron defeats this Redwyne fleet? Like what is his goal after? Is it to, you know, take Oldtown? Is it just to sack it? Maybe it's bringing forces to Oldtown so that he can go somewhere else. That's the interesting part to me. That's very hard to predict.
Yeah, same. And the part that I'm more interested in, actually.
I agree. That's the part I am more interested in as well. But thank you guys all for watching. Thank you for being on the channel once again.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And yeah. So thank you guys all for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.